Fresh off entering Minnesota, Olivia Miles rushed to post statements downplaying Caitlin Clark, relying on an all-star roster to talk big against the star who carried fever from scratch. A harsh reality is about to hit.
Oh, whoa, hold up. Olivia Miles taking cheap shots at Caitlin Clark online. Are you serious, Olivia? It's crazy because I live stream majority of your games at TCU. I've been a fan of Olivia Miles for at least 3 years now. And the fact that you now taking nasty shots at Caitlin Clark online, unnecessary for no reason. Caitlin Clark has never done anything to this girl, said nothing about this, nothing. And you taking shots online is...
Now, with that being said, I got to put a timeout out here real quick. Olivia Miles. Yeah, you. So I see that you retweeted a post that said Olivia Miles is who everybody thought Caitlin Clark was. Now, half of me feels like, okay, that's a post that's bigging you up. Whatever. Why would you not share a post that bigs you up? Of course you're going to share it. But then I really started thinking about it. And it's just like, you don't believe that, right? Like, we need to be clear here. And I've been saying this for a very long time. These numbers are fictitious in all reality. They are. All right. You
thing all the way down. Olivia Miles is fire as a player. But let's keep it real, Olivia. You have a lot of help. You don't get double teamed because you can't get double teamed. Kayla McBride just had 40 on like 10 made threes on your team. Courtney Williams scores 30. Nafisa Collier scores 30. Natasha Howard's had 27, 28-point games. You lucked up. You lucked up because of two idiot franchises, one being the Chicago Sky because that's supposed to be their pick. The Minnesota Lynx wasn't even supposed to have the #2 pick. I think
you're literally out there doing whatever you want to do on Minnesota. First and foremost, you went straight to a championship team. Let's be clear here. All right, you didn't go to no team that have to get it out the mud like she did. She took a team that nigga ain't been to the playoffs in Lord knows how many years. Started off 1-8 and got into the playoffs. You literally went to a team that was just in the championship 2 seasons prior to you coming. Hello. You got all-stars on your team also. Now, I will give you props because while Fee was out all this balling, she's out here balling. Hold on, bro, because y'all pissing me off. Y'all starting to piss me off now. Look at what Clark has to go through on a nightly basis while getting 10 assists. And now Cunningham beats everyone back. But unacceptable. Wide open layup. And now Cunningham beats everyone back, but can't. Come on now.
Ball on the drive, can't finish. All these other people. When let Caitlin Clark shoot 3 for 13, the whole world is calling her a bum. It's all over. First take, all of a sudden, Whitlock and them want to play highlights. They want to show the game. They want to talk about the game finally. When you stink it up like you did in this Portland Fire game, nobody fucking cares or talks about it. Let's talk about it. When you don't wear the pressure of having to be great every game or else it's going to be national news. You get to have your shitty nights and your bad games in peace. Pardon my language. I'm hot in this. I'm hot. You get to have your bad games and it be swept under the
nightly basis from this team. And that needs to be addressed by the Indiana Fever. All right. Y'all been going around Stephanie White making it seem like it's not Clark's team and this, that. You need to get these motherfuckers in layup lines. Like straight up and down. There is no way we can go into this postseason and this is the outcome here. We're running around missing wide open layups. Like, bro, like I was saying before, if y'all going to be missing all these passes, she might as well just shoot. Pick a side. You going to make the shots or you...
Nobody talking about it. You know what the fact is? Don't nobody give a damn about none of y'all unless y'all standing in front of Caitlin Clark. Facts. Y'all only get hyped up because people want somebody competitive or somebody to compare with Caitlin Clark. All y'all other games, how come they never put the ratings out for them? How come they never put the viewership out for them? Because it'd be bad PR, people not watching. You get to have stinkers just like this game and nobody will talk about it. Nobody. Caitlin Clark go out there and have 13 and shoot 3.
Showing up was for the Fever. The majority of them are Clark fans. When there was the Indiana Fever before Clark came, y'all were playing in front of like 4,000 people. You weren't even here. You was in Connecticut. Clark built this Indiana Fever fan base up. This is why they were selling out. This is why. We don't want to see you fucking this up. And that's just that. I don't want to hear, oh, she's like a maestro. Make sure the rest of the games are like this, where she gets to play freely and play her game so outcomes like this can happen. And that's all I got to say about that. Olivia Miles, be careful. Be careful. Don't wake up a beast. Clark will run laps around you, bro.
The moment a high-profile rookie steps onto a winning WNBA roster, the ego machine starts spinning at maximum velocity. Olivia Miles taking unprovoked cheap shots at Caitlin Clark on social media isn't just unnecessary. It's an absolute masterclass in unearned arrogance. You have a young player who has done zero heavy lifting in the pros, feeling bold enough to retweet garbage hot takes, tearing down the most transformative figure in women's basketball history. Caitlin Clark has never thrown shade at Olivia Miles or uttered a single negative word about her game. Yet Miles hops on the anti-Caitlin bandwagon because grifting off Clark's name is the easiest shortcut to national relevance. When you can't generate headline news with your own individual star power, you simply attach your name to the biggest lightning rod in sports, hoping that spotlight reflects off your coattails. Today, we pull back the curtain on this manufactured drama and expose what is really happening behind the scenes. Let's examine that ridiculous post Olivia Miles decided to amplify online. The caption proclaimed that Olivia Miles is who everybody thought Caitlin Clark was. Do people honestly believe this fairy tale? Let's examine cold numbers versus actual game film. People stare at assist averages and pretend they tell the whole story. Caitlin Clark hands out 8 assists a night while operating under a defense designed to neutralize her existence. Every single evening. Clark faces full-court traps, logo blitzes, and physical hand-checking. Meanwhile, her box score numbers are suppressed because teammates regularly drop pinpoint passes under the rim. If Monique Billings or Lexi Hull miss a wide-open bunny, that turnover goes straight to Clark's ledger instead of the player who dropped the ball. To suggest Olivia Miles is delivering what Clark was supposed to be is pure basketball ignorance. Here is the inconvenient truth Olivia Miles conveniently forgets. She landed in absolute basketball paradise. Miles didn't get drafted into a rebuilding nightmare where she had to construct a franchise culture out of mud. She fell into the lap of the Minnesota Lynx, a turnkey championship contender stacked with all-star talent. When you share the court with Napheesa Collier, a top 3 player on the planet, alongside lethal weapons like Kayla McBride dropping 40 points, Courtney Williams putting up 30, and Natasha Howard dominating the paint. Opposing defenses cannot double-team you. Opposing coaches aren't staying up late, drafting defensive schemes to stop Olivia Miles. They are terrified of Napheesa Collier destroying them. Miles plays in wide-open lanes created by world-class veterans. Putting up numbers surrounded by future Hall of Famers is a luxury Clark has never experienced for a single second of her professional career. Consider the brutal contrast in starting points. Caitlin Clark walked into an Indiana Fever organization that hadn't seen a winning record or a playoff series in nearly a decade. She inherited a roster that started 1-8. Fighting uphill against toxic media coverage and relentless physical targeting from veteran defenders. Clark took that franchise on her back and willed them into the postseason during her rookie campaign. Olivia Miles walked into a team that was one possession away from winning the WNBA championship last season before Collier got injured. The Lynx were already a finely tuned machine with Cheryl Reeve running the show. Comparing a player handed the keys to a luxury sports car with a player who built an engine while driving 90 miles an hour down the highway is downright laughable. Watch the tape on a nightly basis. Clark delivers laser-guided backdoor passes, splitting 3 defenders, only for teammates to blow wide-open layups under the glass. You see Cunningham, Hull, and Boston getting gifted pristine scoring opportunities every single quarter. If Indiana's supporting cast finished half of the wide-open looks, Clark generates. Her assist average wouldn't be 8, it would sit at 14 or 15 per game. Yet despite these constant execution breakdowns from her teammates, Clark continues to lead playmaker impact while drawing the hardest defensive matchups in basketball history. Now let's address the media double standard protecting players like Olivia Miles while suffocating Caitlin Clark. When Miles goes out against the Portland Fire and stinks up the building with a brutal 3 for 13 shooting performance, what happens on national television? Absolute silence. Crickets. It gets swept under the rug. Nobody on First Take spends 20 minutes calling her overrated or analyzing her shot selection. When Paige Buchers loses 7 out of 10 games, or Angel Reese shoots 28% on layups, the sports media looks away. But the second Caitlin Clark shoots 3 for 13, it becomes a national emergency. Every hot take artist lines up to declare her a bust. Olivia Miles gets to have awful games in peace because the media doesn't hold her accountable. Even Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White finally had to swallow her pride and admit the truth. After spending a season and a half trying to force Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell to be the primary offensive hubs, White finally conceded that Caitlin Clark is the undisputed maestro of the team. When Clark is allowed to grab the steering wheel and dictate every possession, Indiana looks unstoppable. It shouldn't have taken a year and a half of stubborn coaching experiments to figure out what every basketball fan already knew. Clark is a floor general whose vision elevates everyone around her, provided the coaching staff gets out of her way and lets her operate freely. Here is the cold reality every player in women's basketball needs to understand. Nobody is tuning in to watch you unless you are standing across from Caitlin Clark. That is not hate, that is statistical fact. When Indiana played before Clark arrived, arenas were filled with 4,000 spectators and television ratings were invisible. Clark single-handedly transformed WNBA attendance, TV viewership, and merch sales. Players like Olivia Miles benefit directly from the massive financial tide Clark brought into this league. Yet they throw passive-aggressive jabs online. Without Caitlin Clark drawing millions of eyeballs to the screen, half of these narrative comparisons wouldn't exist because nobody would broadcast the games in primetime. At the end of the day, Olivia Miles needs to realize who she is poking. Dragging your name into Caitlin Clark's orbit might get you social media clout, but waking up a sleeping beast on the court is a dangerous game. Clark has proven that when people doubt her or question her abilities, she responds by dropping historic triple-doubles and breaking records that stood for decades. Miles might enjoy her honeymoon period surrounded by all-stars right now. But when postseason pressure arrives, there are no media buffers to hide behind. Be careful what you wish for, because Caitlin Clark will run laps around anyone delusional enough to think they belong on her level. When the lights are brightest and the championship is on the line, true legends rise while pretenders fade into background noise. Is Olivia Miles just clout chasing off Caitlin Clark's spotlight? Or does she genuinely believe she can back up her talk on the floor? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.